SMS, email, phone calls. This is universal now, and it's a universal expectation. They expect quick answers by text, and if you don't respond quick enough, they'll ding you on certain platforms. So you need to be responsive. And then I think the other piece that can often get missed that we think about a lot when we think about consumer expectations is how well this communication actually ties back to the work that's being done. It's execution that drives the experience. It's great to be responsive, but if you're responsive and then you don't follow through with action, all you've done is actually created a worse situation for yourself and let the guest down. And you've probably opened yourself up to some negative reviews.
Yeah, and I think this is a great lesson for every property manager out there. The market you're operating in is very dynamic. What that means is that there's a supply and demand. So you might have new competitors pop up or they might leave, but at the same time, the demand is very similar to the restaurant industry. It might change over time. And your job as a property manager is to be aware of what these changes are. So the guests that are coming to your place, they now have experiences from other places. And sometimes it's unfair because their experience might be across on the other side of the globe. However, they have certain expectations, and it doesn't really matter what you think you should offer, because even if that worked 2 years ago or it worked last year, you're going to have a certain percentage of guests coming with the expectations that your place is exactly like the 10 other places they stayed at. I'll give an example. Just last weekend, we went on a family trip to Sarajevo, which is a beautiful city with a very dark recent history. We rented a beautiful Airbnb and it looked exactly like the pictures. However, we quickly found out that for our weekend-long stay, they had left us half a roll of toilet paper in a two-bedroom unit. And there was no hot water. So my wife, she showered in cold water. Me and my daughter, we chose not to shower because I don't deal with cold water. I'm allergic to it. And also the kitchen, which was absolutely gorgeous, wasn't stocked to be able to actually cook food. It had a frying pan, but it didn't have any spatulas. And it had a wine glass, one. However, no wine bottle opener. So we just had to go out to restaurants. And for some reason, it still had 4.97-star reviews. And what I think is happening is that a lot of the guests who are experienced, they simply don't leave a review. So if you're a property manager and you're wondering, am I doing all right or not? Don't look only at the review scores. It's great to have 5.0. However, look at how many guests do not leave a review at all. Because sometimes, like in this case, I didn't leave a review because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to tell them, hey, if you advertise that you have a kitchen, you should probably have at least a spatula because the frying pan is pretty much useless without that. Or, how about hot water in the shower because you advertise that you have a shower. I don't want to teach people basics when I'm on vacation. And a lot of guests think the same. This is not like it was 10 years ago where most travelers haven't used vacation rentals before. Now people have expectations and those change over time. They can change dramatically based on their other experiences. So do keep that in mind. And if you have a chance, please travel yourself and see what others are offering.
Yeah, that's a great tip. And I think also people may not leave a review and they may not tell you, but you're taking your chances. And even if you do have a 4.9 or even a 5-star rating, it doesn't take much. One star rating has a massive impact. So I just wouldn't take it for granted.